Many of the, particularly Roma community, are coming from areas of extreme persecution and alienation, and as they arrive here in Derby, they're often very isolated as a community. Culturally, perhaps, people don't necessarily understand them, and because of perhaps often language barriers, that has only reinforced that sense of isolation and alienation.
Youth facilities before for Roma youth to go to, but actually these youth facilities or services are chargeable, which means the child which can go and attend the space in youth center has to pay 50 pence. You can imagine if there will go 4 or 5 siblings, they will pay lots of money.
Just over a year ago, just when I arrived, there were some issues about large numbers of young people literally being outside the church in the evenings, often well into the night, sometimes maybe 40 or 50 youngsters. And as a result of them just being around, hanging around, obviously in such large numbers, that was creating some problems. And there was a potential Section 30, which is a powers of dispersal order, which was going to be put onto this area. This was October 2012. A number of us had got together with the police to speak about the issue, and we very much wanted to be part of a solution, and the idea of just moving kids on didn't seem to be very constructive. So the idea was, what could we help to do something positive for these youngsters? So we committed, just as an emergency interim measure, to start up a club for a couple of hours on a Tuesday night and see how that happened to take shape. So the idea was just to do it in the immediate winter months. It was a rip-roaring success right from the very first night.
Children are always hanging around and are outside because it's also one of our culture that we are around and we are outside. Which I think this is good, you know, that we opened a safe place free of charge and, you know, to address this issue that children are outside.
We have over 500 that have been registered. So under normal circumstances, we now have around about maybe 50, which is a great number. But obviously some come one week and some not the other. When we have special events, then we have more than that. We particularly obviously liaise with the police, but also the fire service, who came and did a fantastic demonstration here, explaining about things to do with electricity, because, for instance, there's a change in voltage from Eastern Europe to here, and about some of how that might all work. And the other things that we look at doing are also liaising with other organisations like Sure Start and so on, looking at healthy eating. We do cooking demonstrations. We have a number of guest speakers that we are looking at lining up for the year, and that will also include people from the health services. So the greatest achievement that we have, I think, is a bunch of youngsters who are really constructively engaged and who've got a real hope in the future in terms of this as their community.
I came to Derby 7 years ago. Yeah, it was all right. I went to Symphony School, Symphony Community School. They really helped me with my English. Now I can speak like English fluently, which is good, so I can understand people more. Going towards my future, I'm hoping to work as a youth counsellor or administrator within the business. However, I'm doing business level 2 right now. I would like to continue to level 3, which is 2 years course, and then try to go to uni or get an apprenticeship.
We're really excited now because it's 12 months on. We're going to have our first birthday party for the club shortly. We feel that we've achieved so much within this year. We've gone from a situation where we had a lot of, in that sense, young people just out on the streets, but they're in here now very usefully and happily whiling away the evenings and having hopes and aspirations for themselves and for the community. We really feel that there's so much positive structure to what we're doing now as well. In practical sense, many of the young people found it quite difficult to engage, to feel confident about speaking to people who weren't necessarily from their community, but we have other people who are coming in now and they're engaging very well with them. Their English is progressing if they're young ones that come in and haven't got good language skills. And we see just a really centred bunch of young people now compared to at the beginning of the year.
In the next 12 months, I would like to see some more resources, some more funding to support this unique club, because there are not any more clubs which I'm aware like this across the England, because most of the youth facilities are again chargeable and not run by Roma.
What is it you would like to do when you're older?
Policeman.